Hey guys, J77 here doing another vlog, another What's News vlog, probably the shortest one I've done in a while. And this one is going to be tackling a lot of stuff involving politics, but not what you think. First, I did watch the two primaries. Thought the Obama-Romney first one was lackluster at best. I thought that he did not show up for the game. He did bring up some issues that I did like, and he was very strong and adamant about it. But other than that, he didn't seem like he was all into the debate, which pretty much cost him big time in the last few weeks. It basically gave Romney some new life to breathe in, and basically kept the race pretty much tight. Half he showed up and basically tackled and challenged the issues the way that we was supposed to expect he would. This probably would have been a more one-sided race than what it is now. Instead, it's a tight race, and even some polls have Romney in the lead. Nevertheless, Biden did show up. I actually liked the vice president debate. It was pretty much more straightforward. Both sides was throwing punches, but I liked it the way that Biden pretty much has focused on facts, challenging Ryan, and pretty much sticking to what's the main importance of what everybody in the country seems to be concerned about. I also got to give hats off to the moderator. She did a 10 times better job than the other guy, who basically had no control over that debate whatsoever. It was pretty much, it basically shook my head and wondering what the hell is he doing. He's basically not in control of this whole debacle, and that pretty much made that whole debate a lot worse in my opinion. But she was on top of that. Even people praised her for doing a great job. She was really into it, and I actually did enjoy watching that debate, probably more so than I expect, because I really was debating whether to watch the vice presidential debate, but being who Ryan is and being what Biden is, and being that this is not Sarah Palin, I took the time and actually watched the debate, and I really have to say I'm glad I did. I thought that was a very, very well done debate, and many people saying that Ryan won. Many people said that Biden was behind the money. A lot of people criticized Biden for smiling too much, which I didn't see any much of a problem. I knew why he was doing it. Pretty much he was doing a Ronald Reagan style, so I can't get on him for that. And in fact, I thought he did a pretty marvelous job. He showed up where Obama should have showed up. So a lot of people who are pretty much complaining about the way it was, all I gotta say is the Republicans have been doing the same thing for a while, and nobody said nothing. So don't complain now. But surprisingly, with all the things going on, especially with the last debate still yet to come, that's not the reason why I'm making this video. It's my own opinion. I still think it's a tight race, and it will always going to come down to the vote, to the people in November, which leads me to this video. A lot of stuff been going on lately. A lot of stuff's been reported in the news about employers using their muscle to manipulate votes. And when I mean manipulate votes, I mean people coming out saying that if Obama is elected, I may have to lay off people. To the Koch brothers, no surprise, sending out memos stating that if you vote for Obama, you basically lose your job. This is a very disturbing, and this is pretty much to the point where how dare they? How dare they use their corporate powers to try and manipulate the people who's working under them to persuade vote one way or another. First of all, it's none of your business who your employees vote for. That's their choice, whoever they want to vote for, Romney or Obama. It's not yours. And the fact that you're trying to manipulate the votes in your own candidate's favor, pretty much ask the question why you're not being investigated right now, because that is something that cannot simply stand. And the fact that you're hearing a lot of these reports lately, that adds with all the voter suppression they've been doing, voter IDs that they're trying to pass, it makes me wonder what's really going on here. Something like this cannot stand. I do not like it. And look, who I vote for and who you guys vote for, it should be nobody's concern. My only thing about it, I've been saying this before, is that if you're going to vote for a person, vote for it for the right reasons. Vote for it because you believe that person is going to do good by you, who's going to represent your views and ideas the best way as they possibly can. Don't vote because some guy is forcing you to vote or trying to manipulate to vote. First of all, it's wrong for anybody to try to force you to vote one way or another. I don't respect that at all. It's the same thing what happened when Nicki Minaj was it was rumored that she was going to vote for Romney. Everybody lost their mind. It's none of my business who Nicki Minaj vote for. It's none of my business what Lindsay Lohan vote for. None of my business what anybody out there vote for. And it should be no reason why anyone try to use their corporate power or any kind of power to try to persuade you otherwise. And I kind of find that very disturbing. I kind of find that very sad, and that even in this age, we're still using the same pitiful tactics. The Cash brothers have no respect for. They're trying to pass a lot of stuff in their own favor and only own favor. They don't care about other people or the employees who they work under them. And for the fact they even try to pull this off is really disgusting and unacceptable. And I think that the federal agency should begin to start investigating them a lot more and making sure that that's not carried down. The same thing with this other person who basically, in his own way, without trying to say that if you vote for Obama, I'm going to fire you, even though he pretty much said that. He pretty much came out and said if Obama gets in, I may have to start laying off workers because he's going to raise taxes and whatnot. First of all, I don't know if he's going to actually raise taxes. And even if he does, it'd probably be a small fraction. But that's beside the point. The point is that you're bullying the people that is in your employ. You're using your reasonings for them not to vote for a person because they're trying to make a living and this is the only job they have, and they know they can't get another job. That is not right. It is wrong, and that should not stand. And they should be ashamed of themselves for using that as a tactic to swing the vote in one favor. That's just not right. Look, again, I don't care who you vote for. If you want to vote for Romney for whatever reason, that's fine. You want to vote for Obama, that's fine. That's your business, nobody else. That's why I said it before. That's why we have booths. Nobody should look at other people's votes. You go there, you vote, and you leave. And your voting is your own personal business. One of the things I liked about it, I think it was on NBC News. They did an interview with one of the people who they was talking to, very famous people, and the guy asked, and I was kind of insulted that he asked them, and the guy wasn't rude. He said, "Look, that's none of your concern. That's my business. You never tell who you're going to vote for." And that's the way it should be. It's nobody's business who you're going to vote for. Who you vote for is who you vote for, no matter if they're Democrat or Republican or even a third party. And the fact that you have these people now trying to push people from voting one side or another. First of all, they who knows who in that office knows who's a Democrat or Republican? Did you ask them? Did you tell them? And secondly, and this is also goes by the fact that some of these corporations have way too much pull in these elections because they put a lot of donations, a lot of money into these campaigns, no matter if Democrat or Republican, and they feel they're entitled to try and have their employees do the same or vote the same. It's none of your business who I vote for. It's none of your business who I support. If you want to support the candidate, that's fine, but leave me out of that. That's just you guys, not me. But a lot of corporations feel that because they are supporting a specific party, everybody who's under them should vote the same way, and if not, there are going to be some problems, and that's something that needs to be addressed immediately, because this is something that should not have happened. Corporations should not have that kind of power. Corporations, big or small, should not even attempt to manipulate people in such way. But again, that will have to be addressed. Everybody has to be pretty much as one to address this issue and make sure that this doesn't continue to happen, especially down the road. Again, corporations' involvement with politics is a very dangerous situation, as we see here. And like they said, the money talks, and if you have the more green, the more influence you can play in politics. But when it comes to voting, that's when it starts going for a dangerous slope. That's pretty much it about what's news. I'm keeping it short, keeping it simple. I'm keeping it as to one topic, but this is a very important topic, and I'd like to hear your opinion on this matter because, again, I take voting very seriously. I really do. Voting is something that I think people have lacked over the years. Pretty much people are not voting as they're supposed to. They're not exercising their voting rights. And I always go by the old saying, there's other countries who can't vote and have the same people in power and are fighting wars just to have that opportunity to vote, had their voice be heard. There are countries that don't do that. There are countries that just throw out votes, or people vote and there's only one candidate there, so it really doesn't make no difference. I take this very, very seriously. I think it's time that people start really exercising their voting rights and really start pushing for an amendment to make sure they no government or corporation suppress their voting rights. But that's a topic that I think that needs to be addressed and needs to be pushed into the forefront. But unfortunately, it has to be a large collective, and not just one or two people voting, voicing their opinion on that. So what do you think about this? I'll leave some articles related to this topic. You guys can leave comments on this issue. I'd like to hear from what you have to say. But until then, this is J77. You take care, be safe, and thank you for watching.